You can call me Columbina, or Kutar, or Moon Goddess. Whatever you prefer. I'm used to having many names. The moon's blessing is yours, whenever you might find yourself in need.
Mind the wind. Tell me what you see.
Rain Cutter! Oz, repeat!
Mind your step. Let's go. Time to say hello. Be free.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Come here, you little rascal.
Up and away! By royal decree, final warning! Eyes on me!
Here's backup.
You asked for it! Wings of darkness! Come, sever night from day! Drop your weapons! Oz, repeat power that ended high shot! Hands where I can see 'em!
Supporting fire.
Shadow Raven, let night fall! To ashes! By royal...
Move or be moved.
Excuse me.
Stay put! Midnight Phantasm! Try this on for sign!
Way ahead of you. Sage's wisdom.
You are not welcome here.
Oh, it's perfect, just like we rehearsed!
Move or be moved.
Installation check. Witness the power. Preparing for dust up. Swirl, mark two.
Down the pit of fairy.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Lucky day.
No, my sword! Cleanup sequence initiated. Ultimatum protocol. Rain Cutter. Wings of darkness. Animal hypostasis. Annihilation mode. Let's spark the...
Change of plan.
Surge. A new moon rises. Swirls, Mark 2.
For the everlasting forest. Ultimatum protocol. Installation check.
Flame.